Hello everyone. This lecture deals the gate level modeling in sequence of learning of the course Digital System Design using Verilog HDL. In this lecture, we will learn the following topics: Introduction to gate level modeling, predefined primitives, delays, instances and instantiation, wired and wired or nets data types, and compiler directives. Introduction to gate level modeling. In part 2 of this course, we have discussed the switch level modeling, where individual devices are used to build the logic functions. Switch level modeling is lowest abstraction level and rarely used because density of components are very less. Most of the designers used gate level modeling as the lowest level because density is something higher than switch level, and it is possible to model the systems using logic gates. Individual switches or devices are utilized for making the logic gates. Therefore, it is quite easy and cost effective to design the low density circuits using gates, which are predefined in Verilog library. We require gate level information or system requirement specifications should be explained in terms of logic gates to model the hardware. It means system requirements or specifications should be converted in logical diagrams. Logical diagram contains the basic logic gates, and it is easy to write Verilog program with predefined gate primitives. The logic gates used in Verilog descriptions with keywords AND, OR, NAND, NOR, XOR, XNOR, NOT, and buff used for buffer circuit are defined by the system, and these are system primitives. NOT and buff are the single input logic gates. Tri-state gates are also predefined in Verilog, like NOT if 0, NOT if 1, buff if 0, and buff if 1. Tri-state gates contain one control signal. The logical diagrams for tri-state logic gates are presented here. This logical diagram for NOT if 0, this one is for NOT if 1, buff if 0, and buff if 1. And in these four diagrams, we can clearly see there is an extra signal, that is the control signal, and the logic function or logic operation of these devices are NOT and buffer devices. The logical operation of NOT and buffer devices are depending on control signal. In case of NOT if 0, when control signal is at logic 0, then output will be the inverted form of input signal. Otherwise, output will be at high impedance. In case of NOT if 1, when control signal is at logic 1, then output will be the inverted form of input signal. Otherwise, output will be at high impedance. Similarly, for buffer circuits, when control signal is at logic 0, then output will be equal to the input signal. It means it is simply passing the signals from input to output, but operation is depending on control signal. When control is at logic 0, then it simply passes the logic. Otherwise, at the output, high impedance value will be there. Similarly, for buff if 1, when control signal is at logic 1, then output is equal to input signal. A logic function is designed using gate level modeling. Logic function is AB plus BC, and the logic diagram is shown here. For implementing this Boolean function, we require 2 AND gates and 1 OR gate. And here 3 inputs are A, B, C, and 1 output is Y. And there are 2 intermediate terminals, and we have named these 2 terminals as W1 and W2. Verilog program for this logic circuit is given here. Module, that is keyword. Module name we have taken as example. Input A, input B, input C, and output Y. all input output ports are defined here. Then ABC are the inputs, Y is output, and W1 and W2. These two signals should be continuous driven. So for continuous driven we are using wire keyword. So wire W1 W2, and here two AND gates are using. So for simplification or better understanding, we are labeling the AND gates here. This one is AND gate A1, this one is AND gate A2. AND gate, AND, and OR. These are predefined primitives in Verilog library, and these are using at gate level modeling. So for AND gate A1, output is W1 and inputs are A and B. So syntax for A1 is AND A1 output W1 AB. Similarly for AND gate A2, AND gate output is W2 and inputs are BC. And at last we are using a OR gate, and the output of OR gate is the final output of this logic function, and this one is Y. Inputs are W1 and W2 and module. So this program is based on gate level modeling, because here we are using the logic gates available in the Verilog library, and these are AND, and OR. Another example using gate level modeling. Here one bit triple carry full adder is designed. As we know, in full adder there are three inputs, and here we are taking the three inputs as A, B and C in, that is carry in, and two outputs. One is S, that is sum, second one is C out or carry out. The sum is the XOR function of three inputs, that is A XOR B XOR C in, and the carry output for full adder is AB plus B C in plus C in A. The logic diagram is depicted here. Sum is S and sum is XOR function of three inputs. So here we are using two XOR gates. So for simplification we are labeling the XOR gates. This one is XOR X1 and this one is XOR X2 gate. And for implementing C out we are using three AND gates and one OR gate. And for simplification these are labeled here: A1 AND gate, A2 AND gate, A3 AND gate. A Verilog program for this 1-bit triple carry full adder is given here. Module keyword, module name full underscore adder, input A, input B, input C in, output sum, output carry out, that is C out. Inputs are A, B and carry in, C in. Outputs are sum, S and carry out, C out. So there are four intermediate terminals: W1, W2, W3 and W4, and these four intermediate terminals should be continuous driven. Whenever change is occurred at input side, then immediately this change should be reflected at the output terminal. So here we are declaring these intermediate terminals as the buyer W1, W2, W3, W4. So syntax for XOR 1 gate, that is X1 gate, XOR X1 gate, and output for this X1 gate is W1, inputs are AB. X2 gate, that is XOR gate, output will be final sum or S, inputs are W1 and C in, carry in. Similarly for carry out signal there are three AND gates. So first AND gate A1, output will be W2, inputs are A and carry in, C in. For second AND gate, output is W3, inputs are B and carry in, C in. For third AND gate, output is W4, inputs are A and B. And finally C out is OR function of W2, W3 and W4. So OR function, that is OR logic, output will C out, inputs are W2, W3, W4 and model. So this program is showing the Verilog program for 1-bit triple carry full adder using gate level. An example for the use of tri-state gates. 2-to-1 multiplexer is designed using tri-state buffers. Logic circuit is depicted here containing two data lines I0, I1, one selection line cell and one output out. For implementing 2 to 1 multiplexer circuit using tri-state buffers, we require 2 tri-state buffers. So one is this one and second one is this one. These 2 tri-state buffers are buff if 1. When cell is at logic 0, then cell bar will be at logic 1. So this buffer circuit should be enabled and I0 is simply passing at the output. Cell is 0, so this one is disabled. So I1 is not passing through this tri-state buffer circuit. So output remains at I0 signal. In second case, when cell is at logic 1, then this one is enabled and this one is disabled. It means output is at logic I1, or that is the input data line. And in this case, this one is disabled. So I0 is not passing through this tri-state buffer. And the Verilog program for this 2 to 1 multiplexer circuit is given here. Module keyword, module name mux_design. Inputs I0, I1, selection line, cell, and output is out. And here 3 inputs are there: I0 data line, I1 data line, and cell selection line. Output out. And this cell bar should be a wire because it should be a continuous driven signal. So wire cell bar, and cell bar is the NOT operation of self. So we are using logic gate NOT. Output is cell bar, input is cell. 2 buffer circuits are using here. So we have labeled these 2 buffer circuits B1 and B2. B1 is this one and B2 is this one. So for B1, output is out, inputs are I0 and cell bar. So buff if 1. Label B1, output is out, inputs are I0 and cell bar. For second buffer circuit, label is B2, output is out, inputs are I0 and cell and module. Practically, each gate requires some time to reflect its input data at the output as per the logic operation. This time duration is called gate delays. We have already discussed switch delay in part 2 of this course. Concept of delay is same for switch as well as gate. Delay is time difference where output come after some time. It depends on logic of function to execute it. There are 3 types of delays in a gate, and these are rise, fall, and turn off. Rise delay is the time difference or time period when output transit from 0, x or z value to logic 1. Fall delay is the time duration where output is switching from 1, x or z value to logic 0. Turn off delay is the time taken when output is moving from 0, 1 or x value to z. These transit waveforms clearly shows the rise and fall delays. Delays are the time gap where logic is changing from one level to another level. In case of rise delay, logic is changing from 0, x or z value to logic 1 or final values at logic 1. In case of fall delay, the logic values are changing from 1, x and z to logic 0. It means final value is at logic 0. In case of turn off delay, the final value will be at logic z from logic 0, 1 or x. The assigning order of the delays in a program is fixed, and order is rise, fall, then turn off delays. Hash sign applied after the gate primitive for the declaration of the concerned gate delays. If one value is assigned after a hash sign, then the value shows all delays and all delays are equal. In case of 2 values assigned after a hash sign, then first value is rise delay and second one is fall delay. In case of 3 values assigned after hash sign, then order will be the rise, fall and turn off delays. Practically, system generates delay automatically. The assignment of delay values are applicable only for simulation purpose. Example for Boolean function implementation using gate level modeling is presented for delay consideration. This example is already discussed in this lecture, but here delay values are assigned to the logic gates. There are 3 gates used for function implementation. 3 gates are 2 AND gates, and one OR gate, and this AND gate is A1 label, this AND gate is A2 label. A1 AND gate, we are assigning one value, hash, then 5. It means this 5 is showing rise, fall and turn off delays for A1 AND gate. Second AND gate, that is A2 gate, we assign two values here, 5 and 10. So first value reflects rise time and second one is fall time. So 5 is the rise time and fall time is 10 for A2 AND gate. And for OR gate, we assigned three values here, 5, 10 and 15. So in this case, rise delay is 5 unit, fall delay is 10 unit and turn off delay is 15 unit. For more clarification on delay concept, we have presented input and output waveforms by considering the delay values. The input signals are A, B and C, and these are pre-assumed. The logic low is at value 0 and logic high is at logic 1. Therefore, rise and fall delays are applicable here. These waveforms are drawn for this example, y equal to AB plus BC. So there are three gates, two AND gates. One is AND function of AB, second one is AND function of BC. Then we are using a OR gate, and OR gate is OR function of W1 and W2 buyers. A, B and C, these are pre-assumed here. So W1 is the output of first AND gate, that is A1 AND gate, and it is AND function of input signals A and B. So initially both are at logic 0, so W1 is at logic 0, and up to here, because B is 0 up to here, so W1 is 0. And after this, B is at logic 1 and A is logic 1, means both input signals are at logic 1. It means output should be at logic 1. But in this case, in case of A1 AND gate, there is a 5 unit delay. So this change is reflected at the output side after 5 unit delay. So after 5 unit delay, the signal, output signal will be at logic 1. At this point, A signal is going to 0 and B is at logic 1. It means AND function of A and B will be 0 here. But this change should reflect after 5 unit time, because fall delay is 5 unit. So after 5 unit delay, it will be at logic 0, and now it will be 0 continuously up to here. B signal is at logic 0. Any input signal at logic 0 in case of AND gate, then output will be at logic 0. And after this, B is at logic 1 and A is at logic 1, means both signals are at logic 1. So output will be at logic 1. But this change is reflect after 5 unit time, because rise delay is at 5 unit. Similarly for W2, W2 is the AND function of B and C input lines. So up to here, the signal is at logic 0, because one value is at logic 0. And after this, B is at logic 1 and C is logic 1. And this change reflect after 5 unit time. For A2 AND gate, the rise delay is 5 unit. So after 5 unit delay, it will be reflected here at the output signal. So W2 is at logic 1 after 5 unit time, and it remains at logic 1 up to here. B is going to logic low and C is at logic 1. It means one input is at logic 0, means output will be at logic 0. But this change is reflect after the fall delay, and in case of A2 AND gate, fall delay is 10 unit. So after 10 unit, output signal goes to at logic 0, and now this one is logic 0. So up to here, W2 is at logic 0. Then after this, B is at logic 1 and C is at logic 0, means one signal is at logic 0. So finally output is at logic 0. The output Y. Output Y is the OR function of W1 and W2. If any input is at logic 1, then output will be at logic 1 in case of OR gate. So up to here, both signals are at logic 0. Then Both signals are at logic 1 and one signal is logic 1 up to here. What this effect should reflect after the rise delay, and rise delay for OR gate is 5 units. So after 5 units the signal goes to at logic 1 and it will be at logic 1 up to here because one input, that is W2, is at logic 1, and after this W2 is going to at logic 0 and W1 is also going to at logic 0. Both input signals for OR gates are at logic 0 after this. But this effect is reflected after the fall time, and fall time of OR gate is 10 unit. So after 10 time unit it goes to at logic 0 and up to here, and after this W2 is also 0. But after this W1 is at logic 1. One input line is at logic 1. It means output will be at logic 1 in case of OR gate. But this effect reflects after the rise time or rise delay. So the rise delay is 5 units. So after 5 units output wise goes to at logic 1. So these waveforms are clearly shows the use of or consideration of delays in case of logic functions. Instances and instantiation. Instances are designed logic circuits which can be used further for designing the large circuit where it is needed. It means for designing the large circuit it is advisable to divide the large circuit into number of subparts and then first model the subparts, then call these subparts into the module of large circuits. It reduces the error chances and make the designers comfortable. The subparts are called instances, and the calling process of these instances is in a module is instantiation. Instances names must be different for different circuits, otherwise logic function will not match the assumed output. Same module names produce the ambiguity and designer may also be confused. One-bit ripple carry full adder is designed using half adders. In this example, full adder is divided into subparts. Here half adder is taken out as the subpart, which can be used for designing of full adder. Logic diagram of full adder using subpart means using half adders is shown here. 2 half adders and 1 OR gate is needed for one-bit ripple carry full adder. Half adder module is declared first. For designing a half adder we require 2 logic gates. One is XOR gate, second one is AND gate. XOR gate is used for generating the sum output and AND gate is used for generating the carry output. In case of half adder we require only 2 input and these inputs are AB. And this one is second half adder, and here we are providing output of the first XOR gate, that is the sum of this half adder circuit, and we are taking this intermediate terminal for designing the full adder circuit. So W1 is the sum of A and V, and this one is the one input signal for the second XOR gate, and second input gate is the carry input signal, and the output of this XOR gate is the final sum of this full adder circuit. The carry out, that is the AND function of A and V, and it is we declared as the W2 intermediate terminal, and this one is the one input for the final OR gate that is generating the carry output signal. So in this case first we have to write the Verilog program for the half adder, then we call this half adder in our full adder circuit design, and this calling process is called instantiation. So first we are declaring or we are writing a Verilog program for half adder. So module keyword, module name half underscore adder. Inputs are AB, outputs are S and C. S for sum, C for carry. So in a half adder there are 2 inputs and 2 outputs, and 2 logic gates are applicable here. XOR used for sum and AND gate used for carry out, AND module. Now we are writing the module for full adder using the half adder circuits. Module name is full underscore adder, and inputs are here A, B, C in, carry in. Outputs are S, sum and carry out, C out. Separately inputs are A, B, C in, outputs are S and C out. And here in a full adder circuit there are 3 intermediate terminals, W1, W2 and W3. This should be wires. So wire W1, W2, W3. Now we are calling half adder. We have given the half adder name, module name half underscore adder. So same name should be reflected here, half underscore adder. Otherwise it will not generate the logic function. Here we are using 2 half adders. So we have labeled these 2 half adders. This one is HA1 half adder 1 and this one is HA2 half adder 2 for the simplification of better understanding. So half adder label is HA1 and bracket, in bracket we are required the terminal mapping, because in half adder we are using A and B, and in full adder we are using the same terminals A and B. So we have to match these terminals for the complete module or for the full adder circuit. So dot A, this A is input signal is for half adder circuit. So for half adder 1, first input signal is A and bracket, and in this bracket this input terminal should be matched or mapping with the final circuit. It means the input A, that is the input for half adder 1, and it is the same input signal for the full adder circuit. So A is matched as A, comma, then second input, that is dot V. V is for half adder circuit and it is mapping with the B signal, that is the full adder circuit. Here we are using the V for the half adder and for the full adder. So here half adder and full adder, A signal is same, half adder, full adder, B signal is same. Dot S, S for some output for half adder 1. So here dot S, S is W1 for the full adder circuit. So S is mapping with the W1 signal. Dot C, C is the carry output of half adder 1. And here this one is W2 signal for the full adder circuit. The dot C is mapping with W2 signal. Similarly for half adder 2, label is HA2 and mappings are dot A, input, first input signal here, and it is mapped with the C input for full adder circuit. Dot V, and it is matched with the W1 signal for full adder circuit. Dot S, and dot S is here the final sum S for the full adder circuit. And dot C is the W3 terminal for full adder circuit. One more logic circuit, that is OR function of W2 and W3 for generating the final carry out. So OR, output signal is Cout, inputs are W2, W3 and module. So this example shows the instantiation process. Wired and wired OR are the NATS data types. In part 1 of this course, we have studied the NATS data type. An important and most frequently used NATS data type is wire. We have also shown number of examples using wire. Wired and wired OR are also used in some type of problems. The problem is given in the logic circuit. Suppose 2 gates are there in a module having the same outputs. Here one gate is NOR gate, 2 input NOR gate, second one is 2 input AND gate, and outputs are same, that is Y. Inputs are different. In case of this NOR gate output, Y should be equal to the NOR function of A and B. In this case, Y should be equal to the AND function of C and D. In this case, simulator will not give any error. It's simply joining the output of both gates like this. This may produce wrong output. In case of wired and wired OR NATS data type, simulator does not connect the output of both gates. It uses the AND operation at the output in case of wired and OR operation in case of wired OR data type. Example illustrate the wired and wired OR operation. So same example we have taken here. Wired AND, that is WAND, and wired OR, that is WOR. We provide the Verilog program for the same logic function. So here inputs are A, B, C, D, output is Y. So here we declared output as a wired AND function. So it will simply provide the logic function like this. Output of NOR gate is here, output of AND gate is here, and now AND function or AND operation of these two outputs will be the final output, that is Y. Similarly for void OR function, inputs are A, B, C, D, output is Y, and in this case Y should be a void OR function. So here void OR function is like this one. Output of NOR gate is here, output of AND gate is here, and final Y should be the OR logic for both output lines. Compiler directives. Whenever designer requires to execute certain features, then compiler directives are used for those certain features. Compiler directives are not the part of regular program. Special facilities will be added in program for a special purpose. The syntax for compiler directives is backtick keyword. Verilog allows number of compiler directives for a special purpose. What commonly used compiler directives are include, define, and timescale. Any file may be included in Verilog program by using the backtick include compiler directive. If designer wants to assign the value for any variable, then backtick define compiler directive may be used. Backtick timescale provides the information of time unit and its precision. It specifies the measurement unit for time and delays. Time precision shows the precision to which the delays are rounded off. 1, 10 or 100 are used for specifying the time unit and precision. Example for include, define, and timescale are given here. So that is compiler directive backtick include. Here we are including design.v file in our Verilog program. .v is the Verilog file extension. In this case, a Verilog file named design is included in a module. Backtick define A 4 tick B 1010. It means in a module, whenever variable A is using, we define the value of variable A, and the variable A is 4-bit binary number and number is 1011. So everywhere the simulator will take this value in the program. In third case, backtick timescale 1 nanosecond /10 picosecond. So this value shows the time unit and this value shows the time precision, and here time unit is in nanosecond and precision is 10 picosecond.